one power, one power, one power, one power, one power, one power. There's one power invisible, yet we see it everywhere in everything. There's one power indescribable, yet we speak of it in every word we say. Mysterious until you know the truth, as simple as the love inside of you. Call it God, call it Spirit, call it Jesus, call it Lord, call it Buddha, Baha'u'llah, Hashem, or heaven's door. It's Muhammad, it's your mind, it's your soul, or it's your sign. It's the universe, it's music, Mother Earth, or Father Time. But whatever name you give it, it's all one power, can't you see? Whatever name you give it, it's the very air we breathe. Oh, it's the power of the love in you and me. One power, one power, one power. It's one power, one power, one power.
Let's pause together for a moment and through a slower, deeper breath or two, become still. By turning inward, we can feel into a unity of all things. The senses, of course, can't take us to our place of deepest longing, but through the inward journey, an opening of heart and mind, we can find a place of deep peace. This peace restores our souls. In this peace, I experience connection beyond all separation. I open to mystery and I feel the pull of life. As tension slips away, comfort and confidence expand. I remember now my unique place in the order of things where every life matters. I call upon faith and I listen. As clarity arrives in the quiet, I offer my willingness to persist. I am, we are, travelers, dancers in a great and mysterious unfolding. This morning, as we move together through our individual and our interconnected efforts, we celebrate with joy and thanksgiving. Through quiet and joyful renewal, we prepare again to offer our gifts to a world very much in need. And so it is.
It's the moment of creation. It's an everlasting peace. It's the freedom of forgiveness. It's the sweetness of release. It's the joy of inspiration. It's the sunlight on your face. It's the birthright of all nations. It's the boundlessness of space. It's the beauty of a baby, the serenity of sleep. It's the anger we abandon, for it's love that's most deep. It's one power. one power.
There's a basket of fresh bread on your head, and yet you go door to door asking for crusts. Knock on your inner door, no other. Sloshing knee-deep in fresh river water, yet you keep wanting a drink from other people's water bags. Water is everywhere around you, but you only see barriers that keep you from water. The horse is beneath the rider's thighs, and still he asks, "Where's my horse?" He's like a pearl on the bottom, wandering inside his shell. Where's the ocean? His mental questionings form the barrier. His physical eyesight bandages his knowing. Self-consciousness plugs his ears. Stay bewildered in God and only that. Those of you who are scattered, simplify your worrying lives. There is one righteousness. Water the fruit trees. Don't water the thorns. Be generous to what nurtures the Spirit and God's luminous reason light. Don't honor what causes dysentery and knotted up tumors. Too often we put saddlebags on Jesus and let the donkey run loose in the pasture.
I am a child of the living God, made in the image of perfect love. All that I am, all I've been given, to you, my God, I surrender. I surrender. I am a child of the living God, made in the image of perfect love. All that I am, all I've been given, to you, my God, I surrender. I surrender.
Good morning, everyone. So I'm Terry Kalfas. I am one of the YOU sponsors. So this weekend, Stacy, Michelle, Kate, John, Brian, they are all at Gold Bar for a grown-up teacher retreat. So hopefully they're learning lots of stuff that will inspire them. So I'm going to have Colin. Were you going to make an announcement for us?
So I just wanted to remind everyone about Super Bowl Sunday and how we're going to be collecting donations for the Lynnwood Food Bank.
So just a little note about that. You can donate cans or you can do a financial donation. And one thing I learned is that for every $1 that you donate, they can buy the equivalent of $4 of food versus if you buy it at the store, because they can buy it in bulk and get government discounts. So if you have cans to donate, great. And if you don't, the kids would be happy to collect a donation as well. Thanks.
All right. Thank you for being our family. Thank you for being our friend. Thank you for blessing and teaching us. God bless you. Amen. All that I am, all I've been given, to you, my God, I surrender.
Well, thank you to our youth and for all the good work they are doing in the world, and certainly the adults who support them. And welcome to all of you who are here to commune with us together this morning. And that does, of course, include people who I can't actually see with my eyeballs because they've joined us via Facebook or live streaming. And I will also say welcome home to Dr. Richard and Matthew Wilson. You know, we really do miss you when you're gone. I think you picked up on that, haven't you? Yeah. But I just will say again, those of you who have been here in the last 2 weeks, I'm quite sure have not been disappointed. We have had wonderful, wonderful programs in your absence. You can feel good about that. We like to have fun at Unity in Lynnwood. I don't think anyone could sit through an hour's worth of time with us here without knowing that we like to have fun. But that's just one of the good reasons we come here, of course. We come here for inspiration, we come here for learning, and we come here to move among a community of warm, loving people. And by being here in community, we are actually the creators of that community. So all of your presence is welcome, put to good purpose. We are a community of intentional welcome here, and what we teach is a practical spirituality. We really intend that what happens to you here on Sunday makes a difference in your days the rest of the week. Part of our mission, our purpose, is to empower us so that even in tough times, when the news may be ugly or we may be facing a personal challenge that feels beyond us, we can make our way back to center simply by remembering this place. And I'm going to point out, not that I need to, because I think we're all aware, sometimes I actually forget when I'm thinking about my personal life, the backdrop that we exist in these days. There's such a climate of uncertainty and instability, unpredictability, and it's at a level that many say is unprecedented, and I think that impacts us as well. What it does for me is increase my appreciation for having a community like this one where I can come and recenter myself, ground myself again in what I believe matters most. And I do hear myself saying that multiple times during a week. I am so grateful to be a part of a community that helps me put into practice. It gives me opportunity to practice the tools for positive, empowered living. We welcome all people here at Unity in Lynnwood. We say that every week. You might be a little tired of hearing it, but we are saying it because we really, truly mean it. People from all backgrounds, all religious experiences, all races, all sexual orientations, all political parties, all personalities. Our aim is to build a community that is a safe container. And I think what I mean by that is a place where it's okay to disagree from time to time. We can do it with mutual respect. And when we do explore differences, it helps us expand our own personal views of the world. We invite you today and every week to join us after service over in the Friendship Hall, where we enjoy refreshments together. This is a great opportunity to talk with others, to do just that, expand our view of the world just a little bit. Today's refreshments are being provided by our Board of Trustees, and any donations will benefit the Building Fund. I hope to see you there, and thank you for any donations given for that good cause. Prayer is one of our unity tools for empowerment. I'm paraphrasing Mahatma Gandhi here, who suggested that the problem with the world is that humanity is not in its right mind. We do all identify with that. He said that what meditation and prayer are for is to return us to our right mind. And I don't mean that those things that we see with our eyeballs, really. I mean the spiritual eyes. That's where we see with right mind. Without right mind, people tend to stay stuck in fear-based consciousness and cling to the idea of separation. It appears so real, that separation. Charles Fillmore, Unity co-founder, said, "It is the law of spirit that we must be that which we would draw to us. If we would draw to us love, we must be a consciousness of love. If we would have peace and harmony, we must have the consciousness of peace and harmony within us." So these tools of prayer and meditation are ours for the practice in order to restore us to right mind. At Unity in Lynnwood, we have a group of dedicated people who volunteer as our prayer chaplains. Our prayer chaplains serve throughout the week, throughout the month, in many ways. And I thought of them when I thought about that phrase, putting on the consciousness of love and peace. I've seen them, I've experienced them individually doing that many times as they approach one of us in many of their roles. Each Sunday, you will find a prayer chaplain here up at the front of the sanctuary at the end of service, and if it would serve you to have a moment of individual prayer, they would be honored to meet with you. And of course, then, they receive our prayers in many other ways as well. A prayer request slip looks like this, and it's right in the back of the chair in front of you. You can fill out your prayer request and slip it into the offering basket. And any time of any day, we can call our confidential prayer line and leave our request right there. We can go on our website, following prayer links, leave our request there. And if you happen to have the new Unity app on a phone, we can also leave a prayer request there. Today happens to be Prayer Sunday, and so you will also find prayer chaplains back in the family room behind the sanctuary through those glass windows after service today. They invite us to a divine wholeness session, just a time of opening in silence to the flow of spirit in and between you. All are welcome. Our prayer chaplains wear the purple stoles. If I can ask those in service right now to stand so we can simply say thank you for being here and supporting us as you do. Denials and affirmations are additional useful tools in Unity. Affirmations are simply positive statements of the very highest truth. And denials are used to quiet that competing voice, that doubting voice, sometimes experienced as the voice of self-sabotage. So I will read today's denial and affirmation. It's up on the screen behind me, and then I will invite you, if you're able to stand, and we'll share it together. I turn my faith from worldly appearances and fix it squarely upon the unopposed, unlimited, unrestricted, and unboundedness of God. Please stand. Ready? I turn my faith from worldly appearances and fix it squarely upon the unopposed, unlimited, unrestricted, and boundless of God. Let's say hi to each other while we're up on our feet.
Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. slowly. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. I'm not as crazy as I used to be. Some of my devils up and set me free to find a quiet place where I'm not so out of place. I'm not as lonely as I was before. I don't go unless there's an open door to leave by. I'm starting to believe my own existence has a right to be. And I'm coming home again. It's been too long a time getting back what's mine, and I can't remember why I went away, but it's looking now like maybe I can stay. The poet cries for dreams he never saw. The only certain thing is nothing sure, and most things stay the same or go back where they came. And though my answers still are undefined, by taking chances I can start to find a reason, something to believe in. I can make it through, I can make it through, and I'm coming home again. It's been too long a time getting back what's mine, and I can't remember why I went away, but it's looking now like maybe I can stay. Hello, my friend, I've been neglecting you a while. Maybe now we can know each other better. Time has a way of always turning up a smile, and now I've got the time to know you better. And I'm coming home again. It's been too long a time getting back what's mine, and I can't remember why I went away, but it's looking now like maybe I can stay. And I'm coming home again. It's been too long a time getting back what's mine, and I can't remember why I ever went away, but it's looking now like maybe I can stay.
Woo! Sorry about that wrong chord there. Please forgive me. It is so good to see you. You look good. Pale, but good. I've been on vacation, and the sun has been good. How was your vacation? Yeah? Funny how that goes. Oh, today, following this service, approximately 12:30, your Board of Trustees invite you to UIL's annual financials meeting. It matters not if you are a formal member of the organization. Please join us. Understand the recent performance of this beloved idea, our current position, and our 2019 budget. All are warmly welcome. I envision UIL among the many things that it is as a destination for fine arts in the Northland. We have two events coming up. Chocolate Cabaret is an evening of wonderful love songs and wines and, of course, chocolate. Scheduled for Friday evening, 15th of February. It features Matthew Wilson and Christina Brewer, followed on Sunday afternoon by UIL's resident chamber music ensemble, Serenabea. I read from their description. With Seattle Symphony cellist Joy Payton Stevens, they explore the journey of Afro-classical music, including the West Coast premiere of 3 pieces for violin and cello by acclaimed African-American pianist Jesse Montgomery. 2 events, 1 weekend. Tickets can be purchased by visiting serenabea.brownpapertickets.com. If you start typing now, in fact, if you have not downloaded Unity in Lynnwood's app, it's available on both Apple and Android platforms. You will find a banner featuring both of these events. Simply click on the banner. It will take you to the registration information. If you are interested in becoming an accredited Unity teacher or minister, please send me a note. There are a significant number of people who are pursuing accredited classes in your ministry, and your minister and your licensed Unity teachers very, very deeply desire to support you in that. You know who you are. In addition to the music for the Soul Song Circle, the Search for God, and Course of Love study groups, the various drop-in groups that meet each week, next week I will announce a Students of Myrtle group, a men's group, and an LGBTQ group. Now, if you're thinking, LGBTQ, what is that? It's just not your group. Well, likely not to be your group. I mean, I guess I don't know. I guess I don't know. It's probably not your group. And for the women, join Grammy-nominated songwriters, authors Karen Taylor Good and Stowe Daly for a healing pilgrimage of the heart. You'll experience the power and magic of storytelling, ritual, group sharing, and of course, music. This retreat will expand your capacity to receive the good waiting for you in your life. They close by saying, rediscover the greatness that lies in the heart of every woman. Please save the date. It's a Friday evening, all-day Saturday event. Every service has an ambassador or 2. These individuals, their role is to support you in your exploration and discovery of this evolving, unfolding divine idea that we call Unity in Lynnwood. So if you have a question about what we believe, about what we teach, about what is available to you, you're welcome to engage one of these noble souls in conversation. For the 11 o'clock service, you will find a Let's Chat table in Friendship Hall. That is, someone will be there. But also, Nan Allen, would you wave to these kind people and put a face to a name? For those who feel inclined to do so, I often begin with the words of Unity co-founder Charles Fillmore, who would begin teaching with these words of invocation. They read as follows. Just amazing jet lag. They read as follows: I am. I am in the presence of pure being. You know, I think if we could just get that, if we could just get that much, right? I am in the presence of pure being. And immersed in the Holy Spirit, of life, love, and wisdom. I acknowledge your presence and your power. O blessed Spirit. In your divine wisdom. Now remove my mortal limitations. And from your pure substance of love, bring into manifestation my world, according to your perfect law. God is a source and creator of all. It's been written, there is no other enduring power. God is good and present everywhere. This first tenet says that there's only one thing happening here, and it is the isness, it is the beingness that is God by whatever name we choose to call it. This isness, this beingness is unopposed. It is unlimited, unrestricted, unbounded, as the morning's affirmation reminds. So while it might feel or appear otherwise from time to time, this first tenet or principle offers that there's not a force for good and a force for evil battling it out on some cosmic gridiron for possession of your soul. Rather, that the fundamental substance behind all expression is singular, that indeed we do live in a universe. And yet, because we're hardwired to project ourselves outward, we have created gods in our image since the first ancestors meandered out of Africa and began scratching on cave walls. With the rise of hunting tribes arose gods of strength and stamina. With the rise of agricultural societies rose gods of earth and stars. And with the rise of city-states rose gods of might, gods of conquest. That gods have faces mirroring everything from geography to circumstance doesn't speak to the nature of God, you see. It speaks to the nature of humanity. The early Hebrews did not fashion a 7-day week because they knew a 7-day creation mythology. The early Hebrews fashioned a 7-day creation mythology because they knew a 7-day week. I mean, of course, God would work for 6 days and then rest and reflect. That's the way it's done. Because we're hardwired to imagine gods with arms and legs, because we're hardwired to imagine temperamental, fickle beings who could benefit from a healthy dose of mood stabilizers, we must transcend our own physiology to accommodate our spiritual evolution. And this is a tough tenet because it places the responsibility for how our spiritual resources are used where it places them squarely upon the shoulders of humanity. This is a tough tenet because it effectively says that how the human species evolves during its sojourn on planet Earth is up to the human species. And if there really is only one thing happening here, by whatever name we choose to call it, you can call it Source, you can call it Brahma or cosmic consciousness, you can call it Mother Nature or the quantum field. Again, it doesn't matter. If there really is only one thing happening here, then we arrive at the essence of the second tenet, and that is that you, too, must be sustained by this isness, by this beingness, a reality unopposed, a reality unlimited, unrestricted, unbounded. If you can agree with this, find the eye of someone sitting next to you and say, you, my friend, really are quite unlimited. And if that makes you uncomfortable, let's do it again. Find the eye of someone else and say, you, my friend, really are quite unbounded. Oh. Woo. And if that's just terribly uncomfortable, you can say it to me. I'll take all of it I can get. That works for me. Woo! In these first two tenets alone, not only do we lose a paradigm in which we get to blame the devil for what he took from us, but we lose a paradigm in which we get to blame God for what he didn't give us in the first place. It's in these first two tenets that our addiction to quiet mediocrity, cloaked in the garb of false piety, comes crashing down. And Unity's third tenet states that human beings create their experiences by the activity of their thinking. Everything in the manifest realm has its beginning in thought. This is not a new idea. The Buddha said about 2,500 years past that all that we are is the result of what we have thought. It's a core idea behind what New Thought students might call the law of attraction, Unity's law of mind actions, CSL's science of mind. We tend to become what we watch, what we hear, what we speak. So as a reality check, allow my words to become your words. And let me begin with the obvious questions. What do you then really believe? What do you really believe? And I'm not talking about that level of belief that's appropriate banter for the neighborhood block party, where the ladies wear the Laura Ashley frocks and the gentlemen wear their plaid golf shorts and everyone clinks glasses with umbrellas. I'm talking about that level of belief that saturates your defenseless moments. What do you really believe? Do you believe that life is hard? That you have to pay some sort of cosmic dues, that you have to work hard every day at some soul-killing job only to fall asleep every evening in a lazy boy chair so that on some glorious day you can get a gold-plated watch that turns your wrist green and finally begin to explore those daring ideas which you have harbored for so long? Or do you believe that life is something of a grand adventure? That you are here to contribute something really juicy, something really juicy that makes your heart dance and your intellect real. Something really juicy that wakes you up at night with its promises of soul fulfillment. What do you really believe? Do you believe that life punishes you? That you've done something which is completely unforgivable? Do you believe that you have a toxic secret so dark that it can never be released into the light of day? Or do you believe that something of a universal grace instantaneously frees you from every moment of human ignorance? That something of a universal grace continuously wipes the slate of your very humanity clean? Do you believe your lovability to be a product of some sort of negotiation? Maybe a product of some grand and ongoing illusion? Do you catch your inner critic offering sour words, such as, how do I convince them? And there's always a them, isn't there? How do I convince them that I'm lovable even though I know it to be untrue? Or do you believe that you're lovable just the way you are? That you are Lady Gaga lovable, I like to say. That is, that you are lovable because you were born this way. That you are made of really good stuff, and that any indication to the contrary is to be plucked away. As my southern friends say, like hair from a biscuit. Madison knows what I'm talking about. I don't know why, but she knows. I mean, she's nodding. So what do you really believe? What do you really believe? And I'm not talking about that level of belief that's appropriate banter for the neighborhood block party where the ladies wear their Sunday hats and the gentlemen wear their tasseled shoes and everyone speaks in Facebook meme cliches. I'm talking about that level of belief that grips the gut with its clinches. Do you believe in competition? Do you believe that if someone else gets more, you get less? That if someone else gets less, you get more? That we live in a dog-eat-dog world? Or do you believe in something of a plentiful universe? That your every need has already been richly addressed by an opulent sufficiency, again, by whatever name we choose to call it, that each of us is but one solitary player on the same global team, a unified team that's fully capable of revealing plenty for all of its players. Do you believe in a life defined by dates? Dates that appear on birth certificates and tombstones? Or do you believe in something of a capital L life which carries each of us forward on its eternal currents? Currents which fail to acknowledge our petty, transient complaints with a human's short-sighted sympathies, but continue in restful repose on their own peaceful journeys of unfoldment. Do you believe what society has taught you? Do you believe what society has taught you about the size of your hips? About the color of your skin? About the length of your legs? The texture of your hair? Do you believe what society has told you about the smell of your neck? Or do you believe that your body is fundamentally and unalterably beautiful? That your eyes, that your hands, your feet, that your nose, your knees, your knuckles, your navel itself are absolutely miraculous? Do you believe in age? Do you believe that life's possibilities slip from grasp as the candles increase on the birthday cake? Or do you believe in age? That the accumulated wisdom of those passing birthdays brings new possibilities which were not available to you at your previous level of understanding and experience? Do you believe that you are somehow living a lie? That your very existence is somehow an illusion to be perpetuated, and that if they, you see there's always a they as well, that if they see behind the veil which you so artfully utilize, that you will somehow be laid bare to the world's disdain? Or do you believe that the full, unsullied, undiluted, unadulterated, untainted nakedness of who you are contributes its thread to the grand tapestry of humanity? That the very substance which infuses every beautiful corner of this wondrous existence is the same substance which infuses you as well? Are you finally able to sit in front of that proverbial mirror and join Stuart Smalley in his timeless words, "I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, and doggone it, people like me"? Am I the only one who's watched that? I do it better. Oh, thank you. Welcome to Ego Day. So what do you really believe is the question. I'm not talking about that level of belief that's appropriate banner for the neighborhood block party where the ladies wear their white gloves and the gentlemen wear their polo shirts and everyone masterfully becomes a mere shadow of his or her authentic self. I'm talking about that level of belief that brings the cries of realization, that brings the tears of emancipation. Do you believe in keeping your enemies closer? Do you believe the universe is somehow against you? Do you believe that the other shoe will always fall? Do you believe the grass truly is greener? Do you believe that the only things you really can count on are death and taxes? Is that you? Or do you believe that life is a test, some sort of cosmic obstacle course set up by a precocious God in order for you to prove something? Or what about this? Let's finally get to the answer of the proverbial question, is your glass half empty? Or is it half full? And I think it's a great conversation for us, because whether you are compelled by a Hindu-born prince who taught that all we are is the result of what we thought, or a Jewish healer, miracle worker, social change agent, itinerant teacher of law and love, who said it's done as you believe, and all things are possible to those who believe. The answer really is fundamentally the same. There is something to your belief. There is something to your belief. Unity co-founder Charles Fillmore likely would have called it a thought current. There is something to your belief that matters. And at a time when the Christian message is so carelessly and falsely leveraged in support of limitation and separation, let's celebrate today's call to restore that Christian message to its central, enduring themes of possibility and unity. For that's what it is, and that's what it does. Like all authentic spiritual paths, ultimately the Christian message calls us higher as individuals and calls us together as people. It calls us up as it calls us in. So if you're willing to entertain a loose interpretation that says we tend to become what we watch, what we hear, what we speak, then your assignment for the week, El Clase, no preguntas. Your assignment for the week is to weigh everything you watch, everything you hear, everything you speak against the questions: does this call me higher as an individual? And does this call us together as a people? Does this call me higher as an individual? And does this call us together as a people? I'm honored to share this path with souls who are willing to entertain such a daring question, if you will. They are known by you as your board of trustees. Today we have dedicated a portion of today's service for their induction ceremony. Your board of trustees is responsible for the macro management of Unity in Lynnwood, always rooted in prayer. Long meetings are dedicated to the excellent stewardship of finances and to the high integrity of policies. These long meetings are often followed with special meetings, countless telephone conversations, and even more email exchanges. In short, your board of trustees works hard. Okay? Each trustee is elected by you to a 3-year term of service during the annual business meeting in October. Roles are assigned internally every January. That's the way it works. And so it is that I have the honor of introducing your 2019 Board of Trustees and offering this induction ceremony. I'd invite you just to hold any applause until we're done. Some are with our youth, so not all are present, but I'll read names nonetheless. If you are present, would you join me on platform, please? John Brooks, Mariah Fallon, Nancy Merrill, Julie Newman, Nadine Pierre, and I do believe I saw Brother John Prevetti sneak in. Is that correct? He snuck in, he snuck back out. I hope it wasn't something I said. I'll ask you 3 questions. The 3 questions are drawn directly from ministry bylaws. Your role is simply to respond by saying, I will. First question is this: will you uphold the spiritual purposes of this ministry? Will you uphold the highest interest of the membership in conducting the business of this ministry? Will you consider other duties and issues brought to your attention by the minister, by other trustees, or by any member? And the next 3 questions are not drawn from ministry bylaws. They read as follows: will you continue to practice prayer in your life and in your service to this ministry? Will you continue to live as an example of spiritual integrity in your service to this ministry? And finally, will you entertain grand possibilities and noble visions for unity in Lynnwood, for these people, indeed, for the entirety of our human family? My friends, will you welcome and show acknowledgement to your Board of Trustees? Sure.
Well, I told you we like to have fun, so, Maestro? Do you know happy birthday? Well, I understand there are a couple of people. Actually, we have quite a few. Rabbi Ted, have you just had a birthday? Have you just had a birthday, sir? I thought it was a yes-no question. I see a nod of acknowledgement. Well, could we sing you happy birthday then? Maestro. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear. Oh, we're doing them all together. I guess we're doing them all together. I was doing them twice, but that's okay. Because you can see what I can't see. Happy birthday, Dr. Richard and Rabbi Ted. We're the same age. Oh, that's great. And it looks good on you. And it looks good on you. Now, and we do also want to point out, Matthew, perhaps you could hold up so that everyone could see this lovely cake that Danielle and Nancy, and Judy made in honor of Dr. Held. Oh. Oh, good, Cameron, great, yeah. We didn't have that on the screen first time around, and I thought, oh, I should ask Cameron to do that, but you don't have to ask Cameron to do anything. He just does stuff. That's wonderful. Very good.
I hope I'm here next week and not in the big house somewhere. Some Unity person out trying to wash their car with held bills.
Oh, we do like to have fun. We're glad you're with us today to join us in a little fun. At this moment, we will pause to offer you a chance to give something back to this community in the way of a tithe or a love offering. We obviously know people who are creative about making money. We're thinking of a different kind here for our organization. Our financial support to Unity in Lynnwood makes the richness of our programming possible. This is a moment when we can complete that life-giving, vitalizing cycle where we turn our blessings into blessings for others. Charles Fillmore spoke about this cycle. He said, if we have freely received, we must also freely give and keep substance going, confident in our understanding that our supply is unlimited and that it is always right at hand in the omnipresent mind of God. I thank you ahead of time for any gifts given, financial and also the many gifts of service that are given here every day.
Blessed always, blessed always, for the arms of God surround us. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say amen. Blessed always, blessed always, for the arms of God surround us. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say amen. Blessed always, blessed always, for the arms of God surround us. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say amen.
Let's share our offering affirmation together that's on the screen. God is my source. God is our source. And that source supports the evolving, unfolding, soul-stirring idea that is unity in Lynnwood in miraculous ways. Thank you, ushers, for your service. I have a few announcements before we exit. As always, I want to remind you to maybe even make it a habit to swing by the Welcome and Information Station where you can register for all events and keep on top of what's happening. That's a challenge. Today's flowers are dedicated to Phyllis Hole by Brian Hole, another birthday. Happy birthday, Phyllis, as well. If you would like to register for a dedication, please do so in the gift shop for as little as $10. Over the first 3 Sundays in February, Unity in Lynnwood's local humanitarian outreach ministry is conducting a diaper drive that will benefit the Lynnwood Food Bank. Should you choose to donate money, please indicate LHOM in the memo section of a check. Interfaith at Unity in Lynnwood presents 2 upcoming events. First, join Reverend Karuna and Father Dan Duval for Death Cafe on Saturday, February 2nd at 10 a.m. Eat yummy food and talk about death. The objective is to increase awareness of death with an intention of helping us make the most of our lives now. I didn't think that might be as fun as it was when I attended, but I have to say, it was immediate, deep, meaningful, engaged conversation for everyone in the room, so don't miss out. And do join Rabbi Ted Falcon on Saturday, February 9th at 11 o'clock for Spiritual Saturday. Share the healing space of the traditions of the Jewish Sabbath as understood and interpreted by Rabbi Ted and musicians Jenny and Jack Hutmaker. Always a very meaningful activity as well. Would you like to uplift your spirit as you energize and revitalize your body, mind, and soul? If yes, then join like-minded people for an hour-long, lighthearted experience of easy does it movement set to new thought music in a follow-the-leader format. Health and Wellness Co-Chair Nancy Joy Callahan facilitates The Body is the Temple of the Soul. That will be on Saturday, February 16th at 10 a.m. Please wear comfortable clothing and bring a water bottle, mat, or blanket. And if you stay that day on the 16th, you can enjoy a class entitled Kabbalah. Am I saying that incorrectly? He'll let it pass. Kabbalah for the Soul, offered at 1 o'clock. The essential question is not what's going on here, but who is going on here. Rabbi Ted Falcon focuses on the 3 levels of the soul from the Jewish wisdom tradition and how to remember them in practice. Please register for this event, and I just encourage you to register for any of the events you are going to attend. It's so helpful for the people that are leading the events to know who's coming. So, that and all good things happening at Unity Lynnwood can be found out about on our calendar page, on our Facebook page, or at our website at unityinlynnwood.org.
Christina Brewer will join us next Sunday to give you a taste of the chocolate cabaret music. So what we'll be doing on February 15th, so you don't want to miss her. There's also flyers for the women's retreat with Stowe and Karen in the bag. If you'll join me, we'll sing our peace song. So to the heart as a reminder, right here, does this lift me higher? Together, does this lift me higher? And then allowing your eyes to behold the beauty that's around you in the form of human souls. Does this bring us together? Together? Does this bring us together? Does this lift me higher? Does this bring us together? There's your assignment for the week. You know, we have a long history of taking this teaching very personally. We have a long history of interpreting this tenet thusly. If I think hard enough about a pink Cadillac, I will get a pink Cadillac. And if I think long enough about moderate to severe psoriasis, I will get moderate to severe psoriasis. And I don't debate that there's value in that particular dance. However, I'm more interested at this point in my ministry in the less personal. You know, I believe we navigate thought currents which were established by those who came before.
And I believe we collectively establish a thought current that will be navigated by those yet to come. So, yes, on the one hand, we have a history of this teaching being very personal. I think it extends beyond you. And I think it extends beyond me. That's where I get excited. Let's take a deep breath together. Let's close those outer eyes. Let's turn from that physiological five-sensory self that we might know something of a higher truth than what would appear to be separation and limitation. And if there's a first name of any soul you would like to introduce into this powerful and palpable consciousness of love and support, just speak that name now. Just speak it. And so on behalf of all these, and on behalf of all who have turned anything of a spiritual awareness, a spiritual ear, a spiritual receptivity to this conversation about possibility and unity, we say welcome. Welcome. It is on your behalf. It is on behalf of those who have come before. It is on behalf of those who are yet to come that we lift our voices then with great faith and boldness and speak together these closing words. There is one power and one presence in, through, and around all creation. So we go forth as the eyes of divine love, as the tongues of divine wisdom, as the hands of divine sufficiency, and the bold and ready hearts of divine life. Unity in Lynnwood, I love you dearly. Adios. Adios.